So hey everyone, how are you doing? My name is Kate and welcome to my YouTube channel. This year was crazy. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that something like that could happen. Well, it happened, and just like I heard in some Fall Out Boy song, the only way out now is just, well, through. This year has posed a lot of challenges, it has broken us in a lot of ways. And I know that these are just words, but it's highly important to just, well, stay strong, to believe in yourself, and that's why I'm here today. Because I'm used to, talking about the results of the year at the end of the year, so here I am to talk about 2020, to remind myself that even though 2020 was the worst, it still had some, well, good sides to it. Let's go. 1. I think you can see that, those people who may have watched my other videos, I have changed my hair colour. When I first dyed my hair blonde, it meant a lot to me. It was somehow getting rid of the old Kate for me, the Kate that was somehow a loser, a Kate that was self-conscious and so on and so forth. Since that, I was really scared to dye my hair another colour because, well, it seemed to me like if I dye my hair back to my, original colour, it will somehow mean that the original me, the me I don't really like, will come back. Those are superstitions, of course, and the time came to give my hair some treatment because they deserve it, and here I am. That's my colour, and that's how I'm gonna be for the next few years, I think. 2. So this year I have finished my bachelor's degree with honours. Yay me! So it has been a long and difficult journey where I have done so many things. I have found myself, I have understood myself, I have polished my English, even though, well, being the perfectionist I am, it's never enough. I have learned German, however much I hated it along the way. I have come out of my comfort zone dozens of times, which really contributed to my self-confidence. I became a translator, something that I really wanted to be, even though right now it's mostly, well, in theory, but, well, the bright future awaits, so to say. And well, I've spent 6 months in England, because I can't really talk about anything without mentioning the fact that I was in London. I know this may be stupid for some people, but among my peers, the people I talk to, the people I study with, this is a very rare occasion. So I was somehow a winner, so to say, and everyone is jealous of me, and that is what makes me happy. I was a scared little child when I entered the university, but during these 4 years I have taken part in numerous events, bringing myself out more. I have helped a whole group of freshmen to, adapt at the university, adapt to the new life, and I still keep in touch with a lot of them. And a lot of them told me really nice things once I, graduated, telling me how I've helped them, how I was the person they trusted and how I made their life easier, and that was really nice. For my research papers, I've chosen one of the coolest professors, so to say, because I was scared of him. This is just how I work. Whenever there is something cool, something all the students like, I tend to just shy away. But he was writing his research papers only with the best students. Here I am, and that's how I ended up with him. And it was the best experience I've ever had because I fell in love with writing academic papers, however nerdy this may sound. And well, I chose him because I knew that the only way out of my irrational fear was through. All of these were the best decisions in my entire life, and we were supposed to have a grand prom, but well, coronavirus decided otherwise. But it still was great, and I'm really proud of myself of making these long journey. Yay! 3. This year I have also enrolled to start my master's degree. Same university, same program, only the major is slightly different. So I was studying linguistics with a translation studies as a major, but now I'm studying linguistics but with teaching English as a foreign language as my major, and I'm really looking forward to mastering this profession as well. This one was also a huge challenge because I have mentioned this before. I study in one of the best universities in my country, so there are a lot of people who want to enroll to it, and I also study at one of the most demanded study programs in the university, so you know the amount of people who want to study there is huge, and this was a challenge, but I got through this as well. I remember this research advisor I was talking about. Well, he got a promotion and he became, you know, the manager of our department, of our program, so to say. So he's like the coolest and the main person in our year, in our master's program. And he did not only remain my research advisor for the following 2 years, he also asked me if I wanted to be his assistant. This is just huge. I mean, I not only write my research papers with the coolest person in our department, I'm also his assistant. It's not like, you know, the best job I could have, but this is great experience, and well, it's not that hard, and it's just very prestigious, so to say, you know, in the university, because I am like part of the gang, so to say, so I'm really excited about that. 4. This year I started caring more about my mental health. The last 2 years revealed a lot about my mental health, and I have, you know, found out a lot of my secrets and mysteries and so on and so forth. And this year has also posed a lot of challenges that really made me, you know, not really want to do anything about my mental health, because I was like, the world is hell, why should I even bother? But then I forced myself into that, and I started meditating regularly. I started exercising, even though, you know, not professionally because I'm not sporty, and I started watching what I'm eating. This really contributed immensely to the state of mind. I mean, I had a lot of setbacks this year, but who didn't? I mean, this is a hard year where everyone has mental problems, I suppose. But I'm really proud of how I handled them, of how I didn't give up, of how I worked on myself, and this really makes me proud, and it really makes me believe that my, well, you know, recovery is not that far away. And what is my greatest achievement of the year? I started getting rid of everything toxic around me. I'm talking about internet accounts in particular. I mean, I'm not sure if everyone is like that. On my Instagram, I have a lot of people I'm following that are very toxic. They irritate me, but somehow, for some reason, I still follow them. Because, I don't know, I found it funny and stuff. But this year, they became even more irritating, you know, because the coronavirus came, and a lot of people who earn money on Instagram in my country, so I'm not saying like this in universal terms, they started lying about coronavirus, how they had it, started scaring people around them, you know, the followers, and it was really too much to bear, so I unfollowed all of them, and I really tried to make my account on social media a safe space for my mental health. And I'm proud to say that I've really managed to do that. I feel comfortable scrolling through my feed on Instagram and Twitter and so on and so forth, and it's really entertaining and helps me relax rather than just, well, irritate me and make me anxious. And that's what you should do as well. I highly recommend it. 5. In 2020, I realized a small dream of mine. For a long time, I really wanted to buy an electronic reader because I really like to read wherever I go, but I can't really bring books along with me because they weigh a lot and I carry a lot in my backpack, so it's just, you know, it's not comfortable carrying around a book everywhere. So I really wanted to have an e-book. and I bought it. Here it is, I really love it. I bought it, and these were the best 2 months in my life. I've read a lot of books, but then something happened. I have this place where a TV set stands in my room, and I usually put my book and my laptop in there at night, so they don't, you know, just hang around. And I put my book in there, and then it just slipped and fell into this opening there. Nothing bloody fits in this opening, but my book did. It just slipped there, and there is no way you can move the furniture, so there was no way I could fish it out. But I wasn't going to give up. I spent the next 3 months trying to fish it out in different ways, and what really helped me, you know, you're gonna listen to this in case you ever need this advice. So I found this thin piece of wood and a piece of board, so to say, and I put a double-sided tape on one end of it, and then I was just like doing this, trying to fish the book out, hoping that it will somehow glue to the side, and then I'll just pull it out, and that's how it happened. Yes, it took me 3 months and regular exercises in a very compromising pose to finally fish it out, but I did, and I'm a winner again. But my advice is, if you have a thin opening in your furniture, never put anything thin anywhere near it. The chances are it will end up dead. 6. So I have mentioned quite a few times that I'm learning German, and this was quite a ride, a long one and a tough one. So with English, I started learning it when I was about 7 years old, and by the age of 14 I had B2 level, by the age of 17 I had C1, and now I have C2, at least that's what my certificate says, so it's quite decent. With German, we had to have B2 level by the time we graduate from our bachelor's degree. So that's 4 years. It's almost half as much time as I had for English. So you can only imagine how quick and tough it went. At first I was really scared because it seemed like everyone else understood what they were doing, and here I was sitting there just not quite catching how my brain could, you know, fit another language into it. After the stage of fright came the stage of fear, because 2 out of 4 years at the university we had the strictest professor of German. It just happened so that out of all foreign language professors, that is Chinese, French, Spanish and Italian departments, the German department was the strictest. And 2 out of 4 years we had the strictest out of the strictest professors of German. Oh god, that was tough. I hated these classes because they were just too strenuous. But it really yielded some fruit. At the end of our 4th year we decided to take Goethe exam. So it's basically an international exam for German learners, just like, you know, CAE or something for English. The one we took was to prove that we have a B2 level of knowledge. I was really insecure about my listening and speaking abilities, so I was terrified of taking it, but in the meantime I felt like I had to. And the thing is, thanks to this strictest professor, I had one of the best results in the year. Even though I was terrified, I got 98 out of 100 for my speaking part, and this is just something I couldn't even imagine in my wildest dreams, because I'm so insecure about speaking. And with listening, even though I have listened to a lot of podcasts, watched a lot of series, I just still couldn't understand everything they were saying. No offense, it's just me. So basically, I was really surprised to get one of the best results in my year, and I'm so proud of myself. And the thing is, I really thought that this was the end of my German career, because we usually didn't have a C1 group at our masters, but the year I enrolled was the first year this group was created. And it consists only of 2 people, me and another girl. How cool is that? I mean, it could have all kinds of advantages to my knowledge of German, but we'll see it later. 7. For a lot of years, since I was about 14 I guess, I really wanted to take up singing classes. I adore music, I can play the guitar, but singing is not something I could do. I mean, I love singing, but I just, well, don't like the way I sound. So when I was 14, I took up classes and they were just goddamn awful. The teacher was very selfish, even though she wasn't that professional. How can I judge that, you would say, because I'm no singing teacher, am I? Well, let me explain. These classes I had when I was 14 really undermined my confidence and my belief in my ability. This year, when I'm 22, I have finally gathered my courage and found another teacher to start my singing classes anew. And that's when I understood the difference, and that's when I understood that the problem wasn't me, the problem was the teacher all those years ago. And this is just such a relief to know that there was none of my fault back then. It was just her fault, her own, insecurities or something. And it's just so relieving. I have only started this in March, and I really thought that by December I will have been taking part in these classes for, like 6 months. When the virus decided otherwise again, but still this is a huge progress for me. I've been, feeling more confident in my singing and in myself, and I'm really proud of myself for doing this, because this is what I wanted. And this is what I did. Now, this is my point here. If something went wrong when you were a child, there's a huge probability that it wasn't your fault. You should really try this again now that you're an adult, and you may have a completely different experience. 8. So this spring and this summer were kind of lame. I was supposed to finish my studies in March and then have free time till June. I had a lot of plans for this, time, and none of them came true, so I had to plan my activities and without seeing other people, without going outside, I had to come up with something. And this is when I remembered that I have really wanted to explore makeup for a really long time. For a very long time, for 4 years at least. The only thing I could do is, fill in my brows and draw wings with an eyeliner. Everyone was jealous of my wings, but it still wasn't everything I wanted, to know how to do. So now I finally had a lot of time on my hands and I could put it into, studying makeup. That's how I found Nikki Tutorials. It's not that I didn't know about her before, but I haven't really believed that someday I will be proficient enough to use her videos as, well, actual tutorials for what I'm doing on my face. And that's what happened, I just practiced and practiced and practiced, bought some makeup, and then practiced and practiced, and I'm proud to say that I really like my reflection these days. I'm proud of what I did, and I'm proud of what I'm going to do in the future. I have finally, grasped how it's done, and I have, well, a lot of confidence in my abilities. It may be not the best makeup you've ever seen, but trust me, that's a huge step forward from what I've had, let's say, 7 months ago. So why not? 9. I have almost finished uploading all of my London videos to my channel. Yes, I planned to upload all of them during 2020, but, well, this was a harsh time and I didn't really feel like that, so I literally forced myself into editing them. But I finally, gathered the strength to do this, and I'm proud to announce that there are only like 3 videos left. And this is just so cool. I mean, I'm so lazy. I want to edit and film videos, but I always forget, always, get caught up in studies and so on. So that's a huge step for me. So that's it for today and for 2020. I really hope that the next year will be at least a little bit better than this one. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and click the subscribe button below. And I'll see you next year.